Hello everybody, welcome back to Sawyer Live. We are back today with some more Terra Swoop Force, and look, I totally cleared the I didn't clear the thing. I used the cheat teleporter around the corner from here so that I could jump ahead. Quick reminder, this little series is serving as kind of a production vlog of the intro that I'm making for Clue Season 5, so if you're not interested in that, just watch me die 100 times, I guess. I'm gonna do my best to be good at this game, but you know how these things go. So, last time we talked, I had done... Okay. Riveting, isn't it? Last time we had talked, I had just gotten through all of the editing. I had recorded everything in Minecraft, and then I went through and I edited all of it into a place. So now... I have done a little bit more than that. I have done all of the visual, well, not all the visual effects. I'm still working on it, but I've got a decent chunk of visual effects done. I've got a working chunk of visual effects done to know where I'm at in this process. There's so much glass. Why is there so much glass? Why are these guys down here still? This place is supposed to be all deserted and like caved in, isn't it? This is so rad looking. They did such an incredible... Nox Crew is just amazing for this whole thing, really. So, the visual effects are... they're in process. It's a long process to do. Ow. Nope. Visual effects are a very long process, so there may be like 2 or 3 episodes on this. So let's see, what did I work on today? What could I talk about? It has been like 2 or 3 days, and I've gotten a chunk of work done on the visual effects, but not as much as I would like. So I got a couple of names done. I did Tycer's death scene. It's really cool. The timing is not quite what I would have liked. In all honesty, what's the logneck doing in the tree? Lognecks eat trees. They don't climb in them. That's great. That's why they have long necks. So, oh gosh, I was just saying something. Oh yeah, I wanted to just use the actual death scene that I had made of Tycer back from Season 4. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have it anymore. I guess I did a bit of a purging of my files just recently. I can't seem to find anything from last year. That's super unfortunate. There was some cool stuff in there that I would have loved to, you know, hold on to, but whatever. It happens, I guess. Files... Oh goodness. Files get deleted. It's what happens. You know, Windows Update just deleted my my activation key just recently. So, you know, things get deleted. It happens. Yeah, that was a bad one to start off on. I just made Tycer's death scene. I had to remake it from scratch, and I'm just a hint behind on my schedule, so I wasn't able to give it as much time and love and attention as I would have hoped for. That, I don't want to hear anybody saying, like, well, Sawyer, why are you recording this little mini-series then for all of us curious viewers at home if, you know, if you don't have time to do it? Well, I'll tell you why. Anywho, so... you know, we're doing visual effects today. The things like Tycer's death were all animated in 3D Studio Max and then exported back into After Effects. All of those clips were recorded right within Minecraft, and it was well, okay. Came in just a little too hot there. I wanted to find more of a beach area, but I didn't have the most amount of time while I was recording either, so I never know when Gizzy's recording. I think I recorded it at like 2 in the morning, and I still wasn't positive that Gizzy wasn't. Class! I still don't fully know what Gizzy's recording schedule is, so when I can be on the server and when I can't is always a mystery. At least for me. I should just try and coordinate these things a little better, but, you know. Look, you guys see how coordinated I am. So the visual effects right now are Ooh, in the midst of being worked on, the title cards that I've been making for everybody's names are a combination of an old title font package that I found that's kind of like old movie billboard font, basically, and also an old film reel that I just found on YouTube. You look up film reel overlay, you can find a ton of them on YouTube, and that's just kind of projecting basically onto the screen. Okay, I can do this. I'm gonna be quiet for just a moment. I'm sure this is what everybody cares about the most. Come on. Hey! Ah! What did I land in exactly? What was this thing? It looks like a boiling pot of something. Nah. That actually was the first time I played this. I loaded it in the wrong version. So, now that the visual effects are underway, I still have a handful of them to work out. I haven't done LD Shadow Ladies one just yet. That's the one I'm the most excited for, but like I gotta pace myself. I can't just do the fun ones. I have to work out all the smaller ones, like, the cracked glass or the jukebox turning on. Again, I wish I still had all my files from the previous seasons. It would have been so much easier to just throw all this stuff together from what I had already done, last year. Thanks, Windows 10 updates. I thought of something earlier today as I was, because I finished recording everything, and the beauty about recording in Minecraft using the cam mod that I use is that it's very easy to redo things. So, for example, that opening shot that I did of the piano and the candelabra, which is a very heavy reference to Clue Season 1 intro. I was so happy with how that turned out. It looks so good. I absolutely love it. With all the lights turning on and everything, it just looks so great. When I worked on that, the way that I handled the out of focus effects and everything, the simplest was I recorded everything. Everything with basically a green screen. It was just a bunch of green blocks. I think it was wool. I'm not entirely sure. Layered down underneath the candelabra. So that way I had a very clear green screen that I could cut out in After Effects. And then, no. So I'd have a very clear green screen that I could just cut out in After Effects, and then I'd, in the same video clip, go through and destroy that green screen so that I can, come on. I go through and destroy the green screen so that I can record the piano. Oh, and also destroy the candelabra and everything so that I can record the piano on its own and then just layer the two on top of each other. It's so easy and so nice because, again, the cam mod that I use, it layers tracks, or it'll do the same track over and over again at the exact same pace and exact same speed and everything over and over, as much as you want. It's so easy to do special effects with it. And I don't know why I didn't think of this until earlier today. Was going good. Decided to become a lawyer instead. Hey, nice reference to Clue Season 4. Terra Swoop Force. Oh yeah, so I don't know why I didn't think of it, but since this thing can track things over and over, or can do the same camera track over and over again as much as I want, exactly the same way, why don't I, for harder shots where I'm needing to track things into the scene, why don't I do a recording where dang it, glass, why don't I do a recording where I put something in shot to track? I make recording markers or tracking markers for myself, so that way forgot to turn the oven off. Why don't I do a recording with tracking markers that are in camera, and then go through and delete the camera markers or the tracking markers and then do another recording. That way I now have a perfect track as well as a perfect recording that I don't need to remove tracking markers from. Like, that's so easy. That's so easy to do. I don't know why I didn't think of it, because I just did a scene where I see the glass there. I saw it this time. I just did the shot where the camera is kind of running along the camera track, and there's the storyboard style arrow saying, you know, camera track direction kind of thing. Like, I just made that. And it was so hard to track out that arrow to the scene because the camera mod actually is, looks like I could go that way, because the camera mod actually is rotating in camera. That is happening for real, and it looks super amazing. It's, it looks great, but it's a pain and a half to track. I thought I was doing well there. It's a pain and a half to track, and I could just make tracking markers in a deletable version. I'm an idiot, is what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to tell everybody that I'm an idiot, and I want you guys to tell me that I'm not, because at least I came up with the idea. Like, I feel like that might be worth something. So, okay. Just trees. My mortal enemy. Trees. Getting just a hint too low. Okay, so... yeah, so I've mostly been doing tracking shots and getting all that stuff knocked in. I did a little bit of the death scenes. Okay, I've done a couple. Ow! I've done a couple of deaths. How far was I? I remember this guy. I don't know how far the ending is after this guy. So I've done a couple of death scenes and I'm very excited for it. I'm gonna come back soon and, well, I guess the next video and talk a little bit more about this stuff once I know what I'm doing. I'm hoping I can get some rest before then because I am absolute garbage right now. So I'll try to record these like in the morning after the after 5 hours of rest and caffeine. So, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. So long, everyone.